So as we make our way down to the mat, again, position your towel or your bolster so that it hits you just at the bottom of the shoulder blades. Place a block underneath the head at any level, just to lengthen through the neck. Allow the feet, the thighs to be parallel. Just take a moment to close down the eyes. To feel into your body, to feel into this space that you created for yourself. Find a little bit of gratitude for making the time to come to your mat. Taking just a few breaths to settle in here. Releasing any of the muscles in the face and the shoulders. Belly is soft. A little bit of a pelvic tilt in to the low back. Let the hips be heavy. Let the feet feel grounded. And then we'll just begin by placing the heels of the hands right at the hip crease, fingers pointed toward the knees. So without forcing the head or the neck, we're just going to slide the fingertips up the thighs towards the knees as we raise the head and the shoulder tips. And then we're going to slide it back. So taking a couple sweeps here. Again, just to notice maybe the height of whatever you're using under the shoulders so that you can make an adjustment before we begin. So just a couple more sweeps. And then as you come down, remove what's ever behind the head and allow the back of the head to come down to the mat. Allow the elbows to go wide as you interlace around the back of the head. And again here, notice your breath. And if it feels a little choppy, take a moment to just roll over and kind of lower your towel or your bolster. So we want the breath to be fluid. So with the hands interlaced behind the head, the adjustment made however you need it, drawing a full deep breath. Again, a little bit of a tuck into the pelvis, drawing in the belly like you could just scoop it in underneath the ribs. Take a full deep breath, lift the elbows up to the ceiling, and inhale, come up halfway. And exhale, round in, elbows towards the knees. Inhale, come back halfway, and then lower down on the exhale. So we're going to take about 5 more of these. Make any adjustments you need. Make sure you're not pulling on your head or your neck. Take a full breath in. We draw the belly in, and we come in halfway. Then we round up. We release on the inhale, and exhale, lower all the way back down. So take 4 more on your own. Notice where you're clenching here. All of a sudden, I just noticed my toes were gripping into the mat. See if you can relax everything and just bring your attention right to your core. Inhale up. Exhale, curl. Inhale back halfway. And exhale, lower. Take the next 4 yourself. Each movement is a breath. The head just rests back into the palms. And if you work nice and slow with your breath, without rushing the movement, you'll feel the muscles right under the sternum, right in that upper rib cage engage, and you'll feel exactly where you're working. Lower back down, allow the elbows to go out to the side. Just take a few breaths here to relax the whole upper body. You can stay with that movement, that 4-part movement. I'm going to add in elbow across the body towards the knee. So if you want to join me there, Elbows up. Inhale, draws the belly in, come up halfway. I'm going to lift my left knee, right elbow crosses, come back halfway, and everything lowers down. Inhale, cross over. Inhale and lower. Inhale, cross, come back halfway and down. So just take maybe 4 more each side. Remembering we're not bringing the knee past the hip joint. We're reaching the upper body towards that knee. And as you finish the last one, again, come down, open up the elbows, broaden the space across the collarbones, opening up the upper ribs, taking a nice full deep breath. And exhale nice and slow, let the body relax. So we'll roll over onto one side to remove whatever you're using under the shoulders. Just bring it right to the side. We'll use it here in just a moment. So just taking a moment again, the legs are in our bridge position, feet parallel and thighs parallel. Press into your feet and lift yourself up into a bridge pose. So the arms stay beside the body, palms down. The weight floats into the space between the shoulder tips. You'll notice it's no constriction in your breath through the throat and no weight in your head. So the nice little inversion to open up the front and the back body. Take a couple breaths right here. And then leaving the hips up, grab your bolster, your towel, slide it right underneath your sacrum. So again, that special shelf built just for this, right? Not the low back, not the flesh of the buns. So this is just to support our back as we come into the next few poses. Sometimes, if you'll remember back in the day, we used to slide our hands underneath our hips. That kind of helps support when we would do our sit-ups. This basically does the same thing. It's just a little more comfortable and offers more support. All right, bring your legs up to a tabletop position. Again, options with the arms to the T, in a cactus, overhead, gripping the sides of your mat, or I like, again, to bring my finger pads to the low belly, just to feel where the muscles are engaged. Flex through the feet, and we'll just begin some heel drops here. So starting with the right heel, slowly lower and tap the mat. Take an inhale and slowly bring it back up. Opposite side, left heel slowly lowers. Inhale, we pull the knee back. So keeping the knees again right over the hip points. Alternate back and forth. Again, working the very low belly muscles here. Keep the core engaged. And if you're feeling it on the middle back, the low back, maybe adjust that towel to raise it up just a bit, or don't bring the heel down quite as far. As slow as you can go with breath. Let's take 2 more each side. Really drawing in, hug in that core. Good. Legs come back to tabletop. Bring the knees into the chest. With that towel underneath you, just let your spine roll up, hips roll up as you draw the knees in. Enjoy a breath there. Back to your reverse tabletop legs. Again, option to stay with the same movement we just did, or extend the legs up towards the ceiling, flex through the feet. Maybe change the position of your arms or your hands, and we'll begin heel taps here. Right foot comes down slowly. Use your core to pick up the weight and bring it back up. And the left. Working slow and right. And again, here, just alternate right and left, your own breath, taking your time. The slower we go, the more effective this is. And again, if you're feeling anything in your back, don't bring your legs down as far. Two more each side here. As you finish again, draw the knees into the chest, curl up into a little ball. Might feel like your child's pose, except you don't have all your body weight on your legs. This is child's pose on your back. And then re-extend the legs, and two legs become one. Again, I only go down a third of the way. You will judge this by number one, your breath, and number two, how your back responds to this. But as you're ready, draw in the deep breath, scoop in the belly, and lower both legs together any amount. And then draw it back up. And slowly lower. And draw back. We'll take 5 more. Any amount, you're engaging all those muscles. If you've got your fingertips there, you'll see where you're working. You'll feel where you're working. Nice and slow. And as you take the last one, again, draw the knees in just to give them a squeeze, releasing the back muscles. And then place the feet on your mat back into that bridge position. Arms beside the body, palms down. Let's take a bridge here, pressing into the feet, lift the hips. Knees go long. You've got this nice ski slope in the body from the knees to the shoulders. Lift the hips higher, stretch out the muscles in the whole front body, and getting a little bit of a back bend to the back body. Don't let the knees flare out. Nice stable position here. Take a full breath, and then reach underneath you, remove the towel, and slowly bring yourself back down. And as your back arrives on the mat, just pause there and let the spine relax. Heel toe the feet out to the edge of the mat, and just take a windshield wiper. Again, just to release through the hips. And then we'll heel toe the feet back in, extend the legs long. Take the arms overhead, take a full body stretch here. Maybe wiggle through the shoulders, flex or point through the feet. And grab the block in your hands above your head. So again, here, a little tilt in the pelvis so that you can feel the low back on your mat. We're going to pass the block off. So take a big inhale, bellies in. On the exhale, everything lifts past the block between the feet. Again, legs don't come past the hip points, and lower everything back down. Stretch long. Exhale, we bring it up. And inhale, we stretch it out. Exhale, lift and send the block away. Inhale, slowly lower. Couple more here. Again, adjust the way you lower your legs if you feel this in your back. You can even do this from a tabletop position and just pass the block off to the calves or the knee. Use your breath. And we'll take one more. And stretch it long. Good, knees back into the chest. Any movement that feels good, circling through the knees or just hugging in and holding still. We'll flip over and make our way to all fours. So just bringing a little bit of mobility into the spine, set yourself up for a couple cat and cow. So fingers wide, press into the palms, draw in your core, and with your breath, lift the tailbone and the heart, arch through the spine. And with your exhale, tuck everything in, round through the spine. Use your breath, make it feel good. Last one, walking the hands forward, drop down onto the forearms. So the forearms are parallel. Move back here. Forearms are parallel, extend the legs long behind you, and just bring yourself into Sphinx. So you're just going to drop the hips down for a moment, pressing the palms into the mat, slide them towards you. So as you slide them towards you, maybe from the belly button to the sternum, you feel a really nice stretch from where we just worked. Pause there, send those shoulder tips back, squeeze through the shoulder blades, and gaze straight down. And for our grand finale this morning, we will do our core plank. So I like to bring my hands together, make a fist in the center of the mat. Just I feel like I've got a little bit more leverage. Take the toes, curl them under. Whatever position, whether your arms are number 11 or whether you've got them together in the fist, press into the forearms, lift the hips up, send the heels back, and lift the chest. So get as long as you can in the body. Draw in the core. Keep the hips about the same level as your shoulders and keep pressing into those forearms. Noticing your breath here. Send the heels back. Chest lifts. Belly is engaged. Best core exercise ever. You're holding up your own body weight here. Use the breath. Keep it fluid. Always the option to drop down to the knees. So don't let the ego get in the way. We'll be here for about 30 more seconds. Use your breath. Deep breath in. Slow breath out. Let the body shake. That's all the stabilizer muscles engaging here. 2 more big rounds of breath. Big inhale in. Slow breath out. Last one, inhale. Exhale. Lower the knees, lower the hips. Come back to that Sphinx pose again. Press into the palms, drag them towards you. Send the chest forward, shoulders back. Begin to calm the breath. Stacking the palms, one on top of the other. Let those elbows go wide as you rest the head on the back of the hands. Take a moment, shimmy out the hips. Maybe it feels good to raise The soles of the feet bending into the knees and windshield wiping here. And as you begin to settle the breath, settle the body, settle the mind. Let everything come to rest here on your special little place, your mat. Thanks for joining. I'll look for you tomorrow, hips and hammies in our jammies. Have a great day. Namaste.